This is Ben Givan of GG Media, and my guest at this time is the one and only Legit 100 TK Cooper. TK, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good, thanks, man. How's it? What's new?
Yeah, it's pretty good. 2018, let's talk it. It's been a huge year for you.
It's been busy. It's been super fun.
Yeah, I think it's like twice as many matches for you.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
compared to last year, I didn't wrestle for half the year.
Yeah, it's
so
fair.
yeah, like.
But this has definitely been the biggest year of your career so far.
Yeah, really.
I
I did like a podcast or an interview the other day, and they'd done the research on me and said I'd wrestled for over 20 companies this year. So I was like, oh, sick! I didn't know that. Like, you don't really keep track of like how busy you are. Like, you just kind of go week to week of like, oh, I'm doing this on Friday, this on Saturday, nothing on Sunday type deal. But it was when he pointed that out, I was like, oh man, I've done heaps this year. This is awesome.
Yeah, big year for you, and you've really blown up, especially on the UK scene. Like, you've worked with OTT, Progress, of course, your standard, and of course, Courage Wrestling. We're recording this right after a Courage show, so gotta wrap them up here.
Of course.
Yeah, you just finished up a main event match with Tucker. How are you feeling afterwards?
I'm exhausted now. Like, Tucker's a tough dude.
Yeah.
I thought I was tough, but I lost, so I'm obviously not as tough as I thought.
Yeah, Courage, brand new promotion. Like, you're one of the first, on their short list, pretty much. You've been heavily featured ever since. How's it feel to
it's pretty cool.
Get that kind of recognition from
obviously,
a company?
like, the irony there is like trying to escape the mid card. If you know, you know. But so Courage has really like kind of shot a rocket up my ass in terms of like I've been like one of the main focal points of the first 3 shows, which has been pretty cool to just kind of get creative in like a newer part of the card. Like, generally, like in my time in wrestling so far, especially in Brit Wrest, I've kind of just been featured literally around the mid card because, you know, I'm kind of one of the newer guys here. I'm still kind of like finding my feet. So it was pretty cool for like promotion like Courage to just kind of put their mark on me and be like, we're going to give it a go with this guy and see what happens. So fingers crossed, like, I feel it's gone well, but like, you know, I'm open to criticism. It's fine. Like, it's how we all grow and learn.
Yeah, you've got a hell of a singles run so far, like in Courage. But before this, you were brought
2
up.
2 losses and a win is not a great like run.
But people are talking about the matches.
That's true. Yeah, you know, the wins and losses are semantics. It's about how good the match was and how many stars I get for it. Yeah.
Well, you're getting a singles run now. In the past, of course, you were brought up very much in a tag team. Mm-hmm. You know, the South Pacific Power Trip along with Travis Banks. How much of a mentor was Travis Banks for you?
He's one of the guys that trained me. He's one of the guys that trained me back in New Zealand. He wasn't my original trainer, but who ended up being one of my main trainers in the end. So I know him really well. He's like one of my best friends. So to tag with him has been pretty cool. Like, we did a few matches in Australia when we were both kind of starting off. Like, he's wrestled a few years longer than me, but whatever. And we didn't really plan to long term be this kind of like juggernaut in the UK when we were together. But I say were as if we're not, just because we haven't for a while. On again, off again relationship.
Yeah,
you know how
still
it is.
There's a chance of it going back on.
Of course, yeah. You know, please come back. Take me back. I love
those
you.
Those CCK guys.
CC who? No.
All right, but as you mentioned, like, you guys come from New Zealand,
Mm-hmm.
far across the pond, but you've made it big, both of you, on the UK scene. But with that, a lot of travel issues. Of course, we're working abroad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, I'm very up to date with visa politics now because of what have you. But figured it out. I'm here long term now, which is great. So, not really much else to say on that. It's sorted now. So.
Yeah, but it was hell.
Oh, it was such a stress. It was such a stress. Like, going home for 3 months and not by choice, only out of because that was kind of how long the process took to get it all done and paid for. So yeah, it's not ideal.
Yeah, a lot of stress on a lot of like, import wrestlers originally. You see a lot of Canadians like Mike Bailey still can't work in the US because of visa issues. Nicole Matthews this year. Like, she got done in by it as well.
Ah, that's rough. Yeah.
It's a very tricky system.
It's unfortunate when those sorts of things happen because it feels like people shouldn't know about that sort of stuff. So it definitely feels like some people are undercutting other people of like, hey, you'll never guess who's in here illegally. Oh, but, you know, you'd hope that's not the case. But, you know, you never know.
You never know. It's difficult business. So let's talk influences. Of course, you mentioned Travis Banks. He was one of your trainer, definitely an influence of yours. But who, especially growing up, did you really look at as being, that's who I want to be, that's who I want to be like?
I mean, I feel like, unfortunately, the obvious answer is The Rock.
The Rock.
That is 100% one of my main influences. The Rock and Eddie Guerrero are my two, like my 1 and 2, or 1
Great
and 1,
picks.
1 and 1B, I guess.
1A, 1B, yeah.
Yeah. The Rock just because he's like untouchable in terms of like charisma and attitude, and Eddie Guerrero, I don't know, just everything about Eddie Guerrero was awesome. Like, he's so passionate. Like, it never seemed like he put on any of his emotion. It was always like completely legit. He was like a really great just like catch wrestler, and just turned it on, man. His frog splash is like my favorite. Everybody rates RVD's like the 5-star, but I just Eddie Guerrero's is like top dog
Eddie's
for me.
is just classic.
I don't know what it is. It's just different, and it's special, and it's his, and I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Great picks for influences.
Thanks.
Yeah, like it's two classics, two greatest of all times. Definitely ones to aspire to be like.
Arguably, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So are you looking into movies to reach the level of The Rock?
I mean, I just like to get to the wrestling level of The Rock first, and then
and then play it by ear.
And then once my
on.
body starts to decay, then yeah, for sure, I'll move into movies. It's that simple.
But definitely, I'm gonna hit you with a regular question of mine.
Lovely.
In these interviews. It's a strictly hypothetical.
All
right. Title matches, titles. Cool. Every wrestler loves them.
Mm-hmm.
Any title, any promotion, any time period. Which is your dream to have a run with no restrictions? Which one would you pick?
Oh man.
Yeah, question's always harder.
And I'm just the champ with that belt.
Yeah.
I want to say, like early 2000s WWE Undisputed Championship SmackDown, like 2002 era main title belt. That's like my favorite, like that Ruthless Aggression era.
Yeah,
era.
Yeah, the early year of it.
Yeah, early noughties, like Kurt Angle's Open Challenge, John Cena, like the SmackDown 6 era of like
great time for WWE.
That's definitely my favorite like time of wrestling.
Yeah, and you like the belt?
Yeah,
it's a great design.
That's the main belt of my childhood. I guess that's why I jumped to it. I guess that's why it jumps out to me as my choice, because that's my belt.
Yeah, it's like the first one that's
my baby.
You play SmackDown versus Raw.
Yeah.
Or what would it be?
Here Comes the Pain.
Pain at the time.
Oh, my favorite game.
Yeah, so good. But yeah, WWE Undisputed Championship.
Yeah, that's my
it's
pick.
not a title anymore, but damn, what a dream.
Either that or no, I wouldn't even. No, I'm not even gonna like. No, it's that one. It's 100% that one.
Any dream matches or titles on like the current scene in the UK?
Pete Dunne, UK title. I've never wrestled him, and I just would like the opportunity to wrestle him.
He's definitely the name
right
on the scene right now.
I wouldn't even like winning and losing. I wouldn't be bothered. Or like in front of any, like I could do it in like a barn just for my own thrills, just to say I wrestled Pete, because I'd just like to. Yeah. Just to learn and just to get better, because I'd like to be as good as Pete, because that'd be great.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're two totally different wrestlers, but like I'd like to be.
That usually ends up with some great matches.
Right.
Whenever you have that kind of clash of styles.
I wrestled Matt Riddle for Progress a couple years ago when I was kind of in like pretty much in my infancy, and they just kind of threw him at me. And obviously the stigma is Matt Riddle's going to kill you, but like he didn't. He we had like I had probably a great. I felt like I had like a really standout like breakout match that evening, because I just one of those things where you're good enough to like be on someone's level. You're just not considered to be on their level because you haven't had the matches they've had, so you're not considered like that caliber of wrestler. So that was a really good opportunity to just be like, "Hello, I'm good."
Yeah, it's a matter of experience whenever you've been there for long enough. Definitely, for sure. Anyway, you are quite young. You are still new on the scene, but you've been soaking up like a lot of knowledge. You've had a lot of mentors from Travis Banks.
I've been really fortunate to just be surrounded by so many like versatile and really like successful wrestlers.
Is there any singular piece of advice that is like stuck with you so far from anyone?
Honestly, the only thing that ever sticks with me is one of my original trainers back home, who like nobody will know him. He's kind of a homegrown talent who went overseas, came back, and just gave back to the New Zealand scene. But he's like still one of my favorite wrestlers, I think, just because like it's a homely thing. It's nostalgic for me. But his sage advice was at my debut when I was at the Curtain. It was in a Rumble, and he put his hand on my shoulder and just turned me around just as my music hit and said, "Don't be shit."
Don't be shit.
And And that stuck with me. Like, I just like...
That's a perfect quote. Can we get a name to attribute
Oh,
to
sure,
it?
yeah. Don't be shit. Quote, Kingy.
Kingy. Okay, we're going to have Facebook posts
Yeah,
of his face. Don't be shit. Kingy. It's all good. An amazing piece of advice and a great way to end off this interview.
Very much
thank you for
me.
having
No, thank you for having me on, man.
TK.
No, I love it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and this is Ben Givan with GG Media, joined by TK Cooper, keeping it 100. Signing off. Have a nice day.